let's get back to it. It's been a little while. It's been like 10 days.
1 year since I had a drink. I did that. I made that joke already earlier today. 1 year of sobriety from alcohol.
Well, since you already made that joke, I'm glad you didn't make it again on the podcast.
I'm glad
that would be lame.
Yeah, I'm glad nobody will know that I already made that joke earlier because they weren't there and I didn't tell anyone. So.
Awesome. Awesome to the max.
Yeah. No, good job though.
Yay. Thank you.
Well, let's see here. It's Inane Blather. And we are...
headstrong, stubborn, quibbling, self-centered, vindictive, obnoxious, hormonal, sexually preoccupied, evil, thieving, cross-dressing jerks.
And...
Yeah, that's right.
I had a different one that I was going to say, too. Oh, I don't know. We've got reviews on the show, and actually...
Okay, hang on. Your sound is like... So...
No, it's not.
Oh, it's just your voice?
Yeah.
It's like robotic.
Uh-oh. That's not good. Sounds fine on my end.
Well, that's all that matters.
No, can you understand me?
Yeah.
Something wrong?
It's probably just the internet connection.
Yeah. You want to start over?
No. Unless you want to.
Is it distracting?
Is what distracting? I'm just kidding. No, it's fine.
Anyway, I heard, a good review about the show. Pretty much all he said was...
These people are sick.
So...
Was that Dad?
No, that was Trump, Natalie. Come on.
These people are sick.
And then he just went into this tirade about...
People have to flush their toilet 15 times.
And it was just really weird. I made him listen to the show. I just put down a chair and I was like... Sit down! So, like we were talking about before we pressed record, we have some new drops on here. And what I like to do is I spend this time cutting these drops out, putting them in the soundboard, and then wasting them all in the first 3 minutes of the next show. Mm-hmm. So, and then I look for new drops, and I'm like, ugh.
Come on!
I hope you get ass cancer and die, you son of a bitch.
But
is that what you tell yourself in the mirror?
Yeah.
Don't quote me on that, though.
Yeah. But, that's what it was. Okay. So these people are sick. We're headstrong, evil, thieving jerks.
Cross-dressing, etc.
And on this show, we go by the mantra...
Mental illness is when you're right wing.
Yes.
Ben Shapiro couldn't have said it better
himself
myself.
said.
Mental illness is when you're right wing.
Oh my God. It. Speaking of, and that's of course just cutting Ben Shapiro out of context, but speaking of being accidentally based, it's so funny. I just saw, dang it, freaking Twitter just refreshed on me. Where is it here? PragerU.
Prager.
We could talk about fucking Twitter. Jesus Christ. I thought it was bad already.
Yeah. I don't understand.
It was
what
an
would
absolute hellhole for like 24 hours.
But like,
oh
why?
My God. Because people, Elon took over. A lot of people, it started off as reactionaries being like, oh, test, and people like Tim Pool just tweeting out the word ivermectin and then tweeting out the word groomer, like testing like the content moderation once Elon had taken over. And of course that led to, within just a couple of hours, just the N-word and tons of like crazy COVID denial misinformation just all over my timeline.
So this is like this is like modern day Lord of the Flies. Like as soon as there's any freedom, like the mask of civility is ripped off and people are literally fucking animals, like in Lord of the Flies.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, but anyway, so Twitter, what the heck now? Is this my phone making that noise? God damn. Yeah, PragerU tweeting out, quote, end climate change, unquote, seems to always translate to, quote, end capitalism. And everyone in their replies is like, yeah, you're getting it. You're finally getting it. PragerU.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, geez, isn't that weird how that happens? Isn't it weird how helping end climate change usually has to do with ending capitalism? What the heck is going on?
And what is his point about that? That's a bad thing, I guess, to end capitalism?
His point is
drugs are fun.
If only.
yeah, exactly. Dennis Prager, yeah. Without capitalism, where am I going to get my next wife? But
Yikes.
I'm getting like some serious feedback in my lines from my phone or something. I don't know what's going on here. I have to put it on airplane mode. So how's the weather?
The weather outside is weather.
And the fire is also weather.
Today was a really beautiful day. Sunny fall day that was chilly, but the sun was out. Yesterday it's getting into that season over here. It's like every single day in the 10-day forecast is rain. So, definitely did not take it for granted.
Yeah. Bone apple tea.
Exactly.
I mean, come on. You can't take it for granted. This isn't rocket appliances.
Yikes.
Yeah, it rained for like 24 hours straight here.
Wow.
I mean, it doesn't rain as hard, but my driveway was it was awfully wet.
Wet. It
awfully
was
wet. I made a roast. How hot and wet do you like it? Very hot and awfully wet. Yeah,
and
isn't that crazy? The weather is changing. We actually have snow in our forecast for like Friday, which is driving me insane. Mm-hmm. Yeah, usually it does not snow in November. I mean, it has before, but it's like, oh, this early? Come on, man. It's not a good sign. I think for sure in Yakima it's probably going to snow. So, which is where I live to throw people off the trail.
Yakima?
Yeah. I live in the Palm Springs of Washington.
Washington?
Yakima, that dump.
That's a place for dog-dicked losers.
Yeah,
Yakima.
dog-footed, dog-brained Yakimanians.
I actually really like Yakima. It gets a bad rap.
Yeah.
I think nothing's worse than Moses Lake, so, you know.
Yeah.
And then people are like, have you ever been to Belfair? And like all these other random places.
Yeah. They're like, yeah, try growing up in Brewster.
Yeah, Republic?
Like, nah, that's all right.
No, thank you.
So what one thing? Wait.
So did the chicken have a best friend?
Did the chicken have a name?
Yeah.
And this is organic, right?
So the chicken's organic.
I wrote down like a bunch of stuff since it's been a little while, and I just take random notes, you know, and usually things that either we want to talk about, but halfway just stupid, inane stuff. And
You said it. You said it.
Stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah, but and then I was looking through it, and I was like, I didn't write down like anything funny or inane. I was like, these are all just like
too
topics.
Smart. Jesus.
No,
Christ,
I was just like, that's lame. Yeah, no, it takes more smarts, more creative energy expended to just write down something like "our dog's conservative," in my opinion, than like, oh, I was thinking about this. Let me write it down. See what Natalie has to say about it, or something. But did you have anything you wanted to talk about? Otherwise, I'll just start going down the list.
All right, I've got a list myself because it has.
It's like
because it's been.
I was looking for funny stuff, but instead I wrote down homicide is the leading cause of death for pregnant women in the United States. Cool.
Wow, what a statistic! Nice.
Good
nice.
Lord. It's
America,
like, okay, well, I mentioned that now, so I'm going to delete it because I don't want to talk about it.
Jesus Christ. We're number one. Seriously.
No, but what were you saying?
Number one in the murder of pregnant women. So.
Yeah.
There you go.
I don't
what
think
do you
we're
say
number
to that,
one in that.
Finland?
But it's the leading cause of death for pregnant women in the United States.
Well, whatever. I'm sure we're not great.
There's a distinction to be made here, okay?
Yeah, when we're talking about distinctions on the murder of pregnant women.
Yeah. Does it matter, though?
Yeah. Shouldn't we not have that statistic as one of the statistics for a first world country?
You know what?
Shouldn't the leading cause of death for pregnant women be like car accidents or something? Like what it is for other people? Like
No.
My God. Next.
Yeah. Well, that's what people think about pregnant women in the United States. They just think,
Suck a dick, dumb shit.
so.
Yes.
Yeah, that'll just be that'll probably be our podcast next week or something after the midterms. It's just an hour straight of us going, oh my God.
Oh God.
Yeah, exactly. That's going to be November 9th. Is just
Oh God.
over and over again.
Amazing Grace.
Everyone is stupid except me.
Yeah, and that's why I'll feel that way. No, I don't know. I really want. It kind of snuck up on me. Just loosely following midterm stuff, and the unfortunate big races, which don't look good. It's insane to me that like Herschel Walker and Dr. Oz can be taken seriously in any platform. Exactly, as U.S. senators for both of them
is
absolute lunatics.
I know.
Yeah, and it's like, and there are other important races too, but those are the big ones. And it's like, oh man, the Fetterman Oz one is just depressing. The Herschel Walker one is just a shit show. I don't know, and who knows? Maybe they'll swing in the Democrats' favor and restore some sort of faith in the electorate that we wouldn't have otherwise. But
that's really funny.
I need to see a dick.
That's all. I don't know where to put that drop in there. I forgot I had Hassan saying that.
I need to see a dick.
So.
Wow. Ooh.
Stop. You're fucking annoying me.
But
I need to see a dick.
No, but yeah, but it kind of snuck up on me. It's like, oh yeah. I mean, I've got my ballot. Have you already voted?
Mm-hmm.
You did? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my ballot's just been sitting there, and I was even thinking, I was like, ooh, that's something we could do. Let me grab the voters pamphlet, because here in Washington, of course, we have such a great system. But, well, there just wasn't anything fun.
No,
it's not like the
prime. No, they're fucking ridiculous.
Primary times though is pure insanity. It's fun, like reading through that, because you get the people that are like people that are like in the Trump party and they can't even like write a full sentence, and it's like they've got their page in there.
Does anyone know what a fucking proper noun is? Like, seriously, do you know why things are capitalized? Because they're proper nouns. Trump did that on Twitter, and that's something it just annoyed me a lot because it's just stupid or whatever.
It annoyed me because there's a cute way of doing that to like make a proper noun out of something, and it's like it always reminds me of reading Winnie the Pooh, and I like how that was done. And then it was so haphazard and just stupid when Trump did it.
I swear
but yeah,
to God,
either way,
I
looked through the voter
capitalized.
pamphlet and I'm just like, oh, it's just normal stuff. Just some lunatic GOP people just with their normal, I'll support the police and lower taxes, and then a Democrat being
crime
like,
illegal again.
Yeah, stupid shit like that. It's like, well, there's nothing funny to pick out of here. It's not, you don't get like, the primary ones where you're flipping through pages of people named like Buck Turgidson writing on the Freedom Platform or something like that, Those are fun. But yeah,
it's so fun to see how ignorant people are and how people vote
because
for them.
It's a little more depressing if that guy ends up on the next voters pamphlet for the general. So but I mean,
democracy simply doesn't work.
So there we go.
We're not actually a democracy, bro. We're like a republic. No, I read it on Reddit. You're actually wrong. And Jordan Peterson one time said something. So
yeah. So what were you saying though after I just kept going off about voting?
Well, I did write something down. It reminded me of this last weekend I went to, and what a fucking awesome Halloween party. It was so much fun. Everyone there was so cool. My friend who put it on, she's amazing. I'm in love with her and obsessed with her.
Oh yeah,
she's incredible.
Halloween.
Yeah,
okay.
It was
awesome.
It was really, really fun. And I had brought party favors to the party, as in the form of some things that are hard to come by and can be expensive, and whatever.
Drugs are fun.
That's my motto. And actually, I was saying, people like want to pay you for that. And I'm like, no, drugs are for Sharon. Sharon. And like, we're all just joking
where is
about
she
that.
anyway?
Yeah. She's super high.
You're not getting any of these.
But
These are for Sharon.
Yeah, people would be like, well, but I want to. Like, I want to pay for blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, but I don't like that. I don't like the exchange of money for things because I want to give you what you want.
Yeah,
because
in other words, you don't give a fuck what they want.
No,
so
I want it. It is unconditional.
That's what you're telling them.
You don't have to give me anything in return for me to want to give it to you. I want to. You want it, I have it. Why wouldn't I share it with you? Like, I like you. So what is it like?
Here it is. Come and
get it. But there's a saying in our culture that we say there's no such thing of a free lunch. I wrote this down in my notes.
There's no such thing of a free lunch.
No such thing as a free lunch.
Oh, I was like, I heard it wrong.
No such thing as a free lunch.
In our culture. This culture. Ugh.
We're suspicious of altruism here. Like, it's
politics.
Yeah.
We're like
suspicious of altruism. Yeah, that's true.
Like, yeah, that there has to be some underlying thing that people want. There's an expectation or whatever, blah, 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 that they're wanting there's some kind of angle or whatever.
Exchange.
Yeah.
Because we don't live in a society. We live in an economy, as you said.
I say. That's what I say. And people, they put a value on things with money, obviously. Like, so things are fair. I feel like when people offer to buy me lunch, I'm like, okay. Because I would offer to buy someone lunch, and if I offer, it's because I want to. And like the fact that people think it's like all this weird politeness culture response. Oh no! It's so fucking stupid and confusing. I can't even imagine people who are like more neurodivergent than I am trying to navigate the ridiculous culture surrounding money and value and exchange and all this stupid bullshit where you're seen as like a mooch if people offer you things and you take it. It's like.
That's the problem with the system in which we live is that money is that important. Money makes or breaks your entire life. So then we get hung up on all of those small, stupid things because of how it's ingrained into our culture. Like I say, we don't live in a society, we live in an economy. We don't even have a culture, we have an economy.
Yeah,
it's like
our culture
is capitalism.
Ugh.
Yeah.
See, exactly. This is the example. America is capitalism. That's our culture. Is
Okay,
the
Natalie.
stock market. Thank you, Hassan.
Yeah. Yep, exactly.
I need to see a dick.
I just got a phone call right before this from someone who's representing one of the Seattle commissioner. What was her name? Anyways, they're trying to pass through this
Buck
thing
Turgidson?
Yeah, they're trying to pass through this thing where abortions will be free in Washington State.
Yeah.
Using like with an extra whatever, Amazon paying for it is how it works.
Using Amazon gift cards. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. And I totally forgot what I was just gonna say.
Dead air.
Oh my god.
So you got a call from some fucking commie.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I told them about
the
my
DSA was
Comic-Con
also
idea.
that's their go to. It's that abortions should be available on demand for free for anyone.
Yes.
So
that's their. That's
like,
what Washington
gotta
is like.
remove some sort of stigma from it in the first place.
Seattle is a abortion sanctuary city. Like they're not cooperating in any way with any of that bullshit. Like with Texas, how you can like. Woman hunts for people and stuff. Like
the only good thing that Texas has ever done. No.
I
can hunt down women and get $10,000 for it?
Yeah. Hunt down pregnant women. Woo doggy. So that's where that homicide rate comes from. Jesus Christ.
Oh man, maybe you're right. No. It's in Texas where we're about hunting down women and
The N-word.
and all that's gone now.
Thanks a lot, Puritans.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, I have another drop on here, and I was gonna. It's funny because I was just. It's like, man, in context, it's really funny because I know where this drop comes from. But if I made the joke, I was gonna say, yeah, well, you know what? American culture.
What?
You know what American culture really is? I was like, ooh, that sounds horrific, though, if you don't know it's from The Simpsons.
Jesus Christ.
It's like, once I clipped it out by itself, I was like, ooh, that sounds like scary. People screaming.
Yeah.
Even though it's
guns.
about Rainier Wolfcastle trying to do stand-up, and people are like, you suck! So he just, like, throws grenades into the crowd and starts shooting a gun. But it's like, yeah, there's American culture. Guns, misogyny,
God. Yeah.
and...
Oh, that's misogyny.
The N-word.
That's the joke.
But it's like, that's the joke.
Another thing I text you about...
There, I was looking for it.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry. Okay, no, go ahead.
Another thing I text you about that because we didn't end up doing the podcast last week, I said the concept of free time, and even the phrase, like, that it's free, like, that what that word means.
Yeah,
like,
I'm looking for paid time. No.
Yeah, in
paid
capitalism
free
and
time.
all that stuff. And, like, what do we do in our free time is just such an interesting concept to think about, that's the culmination of our evolution as a species, to try to figure out what we can do in this small amount of time that we get to just live for ourselves or whatever.
Yeah.
And how depressing it was to think about that as a concept. Like,
think about how much you have to pay to get free time.
Ooh,
Isn't
is
that
it
weird?
really free? Yeah.
Free time isn't free.
Yeah. Home of the brave because of the free. Oh wait, no. Home of the free because of the brave. That's what.
Yes.
I just saw that today.
What the heck? I just got like an advertisement.
Brother. It's a good one.
What was the one? What did I say? I sent the picture of that guy's T-shirt.
Oh my god!
What is it?
He's like,
the devil saw me with my head down and thought he'd won until I said amen.
Yeah, and it's like a knight with a sword. Oh my god!
I saw that on Shirts That Go Hard. That's one of my favorite.
Did that? Who made that? Like,
oh, these shirts are all over the place.
I know, but it's
if you go to the hellhole that is Twitter, all you do is just there's the way to go. Is you just subscribe to like shirts that go hard, bad medical takes. That's a funny one too. And it's like and of course their profile pic is Dr. Zoidberg, which is great. And and drill.
Sandals.
And drill. That's it. Those are the only 3 things you need to follow. Don't venture anywhere else. Don't talk to people about Kanye. Do not engage. I've been stuck in too many of those conversations lately. But all I know is
mental illness is when you're right wing.
And that is on display on Twitter. Over and over again. That is on
display on Kanye. Yeah.
What is this? Just a couple guys having a conversation? Who the hell wants to listen to that?
No.
All right, bye.
Oh.
Yeah, exactly.
Dead air.
Dead air.
But I can't hear you over the crowd booing. Shut up!
Sit down.
Thank you. So I've got a few things on here. Speaking of shit like that, let's see here. One original thought that I had that I was putting together in my head that I couldn't quite get out, obviously, based on what I wrote here, because it's nonsense. No.
Is it?
No, so, okay, I wanted to combine these thoughts. It's called a threesome. Get it? Thoughts? Okay.
Nice.
No, combine these thoughts about, for one thing, so this was going around on Twitter, and you might have seen people talking about it on YouTube. I don't know. You follow a lot of the same people as me, but you don't spend 9 hours a day listening to streamers like I do.
About 5 hours.
About 5 hours a day. But right before we canceled our last recording because some dumbass left her headphones at my house during the
That's me.
which the headphones got left here during the windburn sessions. That's what we call them. The windburn sessions.
That's what they'll be known as. I mean,
yeah, they will be known to as also being the windburn.
As heretofore. There's no such
and also,
thing as...
in addition to being the ghost.
The ghost. We were very aroused.
To learn about the windburn sessions. No, but there was something going around about that study that had come out. Or like a survey or something, you know. But about how few... Okay. The media reaction and what everyone was talking about is how few men and young men are having sex, right?
Oh my gosh, that's one of the things I wrote down about.
Okay, yeah. So, and this, because it was really being discussed at length, and it kind of glossed over the fact that, like, it really was how few people are having sex. But it was the bigger part of it was that correlated directly with just all of these men, you know, under 30 that also aren't making friends, that aren't like engaging socially, you know. I mean, that goes hand in hand with not having sex as far as I could tell. But also, like, yeah, people just don't have friends, you know. They don't have intimate relationships on top of platonic relationships. Because I think the same study also said that most women are having less sex than before, too. But at least under 30. But it's really striking with young men. And unfortunately, in our patriarchal society, I think it's probably, I wouldn't say more important, but more impactful on society in very bad ways. So is probably what it leads to. But so combining, men are in
charge of everything.
Yeah,
so.
Combining that discourse of young men not having sex and not having friends, and that people are lonely. Combining that with our previous talks about how, like, customer service interactions are our entire culture for so many people. Like, those are your relationships. You spend so much time just in the capitalist system, like where engaging with other people, like maybe 75% of your interactions with other people are all customer service transactions. As you talk to people at the fucking store or at the cell phone place or at a restaurant or something like that. And it's like, yeah, and that's how society, those are the relationships that's shaping your place in society and your views on people, when it should be the relationships that you have with people one-on-one, that you have with family and friends and loved ones and intimate partners and stuff. And it's like, there's nothing good about this. And it's like, and it seems like just an obvious point that capitalism reaches in a society like ours. Alienation, it starts with alienation from your labor in the first place, and now it's extending out into your personal life, into your quote-unquote free time, like you're saying. Like time that's spent, you know, with this unconditional exchange between people of like just thoughts and emotions and stuff like that. Like instead it's transactions. And that's your interactions with human beings.
Yeah, they're conditional.
Yeah,
in like a very real sense. Like,
and even
like
and you think about it
in each one.
And you know what? And of those few men that are having sex, it's like how many of them were only able to do so because they have just enough free time to get on an app making money to be able to hook people up together, like Twitter or like Tinder or something like that.
Yeah,
it's just it's really grim. It's a really grim thought, really dystopian.
Yeah, I wrote something down about men because I met this guy online and I asked him if he liked to cuddle and he said, of course, I'm a guy. We're also touch deprived. And I was like, oh yeah, I bet.
So he was
like it is a pretty
weirdo. He's a pussy. No, he's
he
very
reminds me
right.
a lot of my ex. Yeah, actually, he seems like kind of a quiet guy. That would be, like for women, like we're a lot more in control. I think of like if we touch people, it's usually it's not as like creepy. It just doesn't have the same sort of like dynamic between women as it does with men. And like our friends, we're like very like my friends, we're like, oh my gosh, like big hugs when we see each other, and like we have those kinds of like physical interactions. And men don't a lot. Like it really got me to thinking. I wrote this down. I'll just read what I wrote. I said, poor men. Seriously, how do they find anyone? And it's so lonely. Touch deprived, and they get violent because they're sad.
Fucking tell me about it. Although I'm not under 30, so. It's like, don't worry, young guys. I'm ahead of you, and I mean more lonely than I've ever been. No.
Yeah, they're like,
not to air my stuff out on the podcast, but I got laid a couple days ago, and for my semi-annual sexual encounter, because I don't have sex very often, and it's like, because I mean I got shit to do. You know, it's hard to go out and form relationships or even. I mean, I'm just not someone who tries to get a hookup on Tinder anyway. I've never opened the app, so who knows? Yeah. Maybe that's something that would be possible if I wanted to. But it's like, but going through the normal channels, and it's like, and exactly that though. Like it was funny, just that, you know, couple hours spent with another person like that, even just as a hookup, but like. Yeah, the next day, I mean, you're thinking, it's like, man, I feel so much better. Like, I had a real thing with a person. You know what I mean? Like, instead of like just wandering through a routine fog of just capitalist transactions like I do every other fucking day.
It's
or
hard
spending
for
my
me.
free time trying to figure out what else I need to do so I don't fall behind in life. So my house doesn't fall apart around me and I don't lose all of my personal belongings and die of exposure in the street. Like, that's how I spend my free time, you know.
Yeah.
Is
It's
worrying.
really free. Sounds very freeing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I have a hard time on Tinder because I hate swiping left. Like, I really wish that I could.
That's denying someone.
That's denying someone. Yeah. And like, it really breaks my heart. Like, it's because every time I swipe right, not to brag, but I think every single time I've swiped right, I've matched with someone. Like, I could talk to any of these people would want to. My profile is pretty straightforward about what I want, and it's not a relationship. And, like, I think of all these people that look nice, and they're trying, and, like, they're not, like, they're searching. Oh my gosh, it might make me cry. They're wanting connection. Okay, I'll read the rest of what I wrote.
Yeah.
It all started with anti-masturbation propaganda by Christianity. Thanks a lot, Puritans. Men want love.
Thanks a lot,
They want to be
Puritans.
silly. Exactly.
Yeah, Kellogg, fucking weirdo.
They want to be silly and nurturing and comforted and all the things, and they're just so simple and sad. Knowing they're missing something and having no idea how to get whatever it is. My poor baby boys. Because that's what it seriously feels like. Men don't know. Like, all of this, men are from Mars, women are from Venus. It is a real thing because of the patriarchy.
Yeah.
Like, men don't know how to communicate
Because
with women.
of
And now that women are rightfully
strictly
having...
structured gender roles.
Yeah. And now that women are rightfully being able to have, like, higher expectations for what they want for their life, it is leaving a lot of men behind. But how are they supposed to catch up? It's seriously... I'm, like, getting choked up thinking about just how incredibly lonely these people's lives are and how good it... I'm never at a... like, on short supply for, like, physical or emotional connection. I have a lot of close friends. I'm incredibly grateful for it. That's it really, I can
Anytime
tell
you
for
think
1,000% sure.
Anytime you just think,
I need to see a dick.
You get to.
I do. I mean, I get to see, I have all these female friends. I have, like, interesting men in my life. Like, all these people, because I don't work a 9-to-5 job, I do get to spend a lot of time cultivating my relationships, and it is incredibly satisfying, and I have never been happier. And I was just saying today, it just goes to show, like, why I do hate capitalism, because there's so many wonderful, beautiful people out there that you could have all these connections with that are really, like, life-affirming, that really fill your spirit, for, like, lack of a better way to put it, that just, like, make it seem like life is worthwhile.
Yeah.
Like,
life's short,
the depth
man.
is there. Yeah, and, like, all the people that
Best
you can
thing
meet,
you
and
can
it
do
fucking
is
sucks that you can spend
interact with
time
people.
at work.
Yeah.
Yes. And
Well,
there's
you have,
so
like,
many
all
cool
this
people.
empathy for these men, and I just think
These people are sick.
that's all I think.
I feel so sad. It's really, really sad to think about how these men who were once little boys, like, and wanting, oh my God, like, just wanting to be loved, and especially, like, comforted. Like, the idea that men are supposed to be this protector and blah, 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 and all these strict gender roles. And, like, how there's people, too, like, they have feelings. They need comforting. They have needs that are just not being met, and they don't know how to meet them. Men are not taught the same kind of communication, or haven't been. Like, it's just really fucking sad to leave
Society
half of the
does
fucking
not
population
provide
behind.
any of that for
Yeah.
us.
Exactly.
Like,
I was like, I can get behind men's rights activists in a different way, because it is like, what are we going to do for these poor, lonely men who are lonely? Isn't that heartbreaking? That makes me, not that there's not responsibility to, like, grow and learn and self-reflect and da-da-da on these people who are assholes, but they're like that because of this horrible system that got them into this position.
And you can look at the intersection that so many of these men are at, where it's like, okay, because of how our so-called society, if it can so be called.
Good one. Good one, Chet.
Well, I was thinking of Qbert, actually. It's like, I just saw that episode last night. Anyway, but it's like, even if you're at the intersection where society isn't actively oppressing you, like, you get, if you're above the oppression that other groups find themselves under, then where are you? Society's not providing anything for you unless you're super wealthy. If you're just another working class person, it's like, man, that alienation and loneliness, it's like, it's not the same as being oppressed, and you can't be like, all these conservatives go on about like white men, straight people being the most oppressed or whatever. It's like, no, it's like you have a serious problem here, and it's because of how we've structured our society and economy, and it's about the fact that you don't have anything. Like, you just don't have anything, and you only have 80 years on this planet, and like, what the fuck are you gonna do with it? It's like, if you're not making meaningful connections, if you're like not struggling, but also not accomplishing anything, like it's pretty bleak, bleak and grim.
It seems like you're just it's lacking. Like, if you're not, like, there is more. We know that there's all these people around us that we can have these connections with, and I don't know. It is bleak, and it feels basic, and that's scary and really sad for so many people of the population living their lives without, I don't know, the intensity of connection that comes with connection.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's really incredible, and that's what it's like over and over reiterated in like all of this art, movies, and songs, and blah blah blah. Everything is better with other people. Like, everything we love, it doesn't really matter if we do it alone. Of course, there's all that kind of doing things alone.
But
if you can't
describing live music and someone playing a guitar solo brought Jordan Peterson to weeping.
Yeah.
Where it's like, you listen, it's like, it's like, yeah, that's like, first I was like, yeah, dude, that's live music. Like, of course, that's cool. That's what people like about it. And it's like, but if you take a step back and listen to it, it's like, oh yeah, someone like him, which can represent people that have like severed this connection to people. Like, yeah, that's like alien to you. Like, experiencing this connection with people in a crowd. Yeah, exactly. Where it's like he's crying about. I've heard that clip of him like, oh, and then just the emotion rising up in these people in the crowd as this guitarist is just dancing on the divide of order and chaos and stuff. And it's like, I'm like, oh my God, you idiot. It's like, yes, it's called fucking music. And then I just think, exactly. And then I think about it again. It's like, wow, but to actually really be moved in that direction by something like that, it's like, it's because you don't like experience that. Like, because you're in the type of position, due to conservatism for one thing,
because of trauma.
I'm saying people that are also in that position. It's like, wow, to have that perspective, how overwhelming it is to realize that, to like experiencing a moment with other people is that overwhelming.
Other people?
Yeah, it's like, because you wouldn't listen to that exact same thing in your car on the radio and then start weeping, But just thinking about the feeling while someone was there playing it in front of you and you're in a crowd with other people brought him to tears. Like, that means something. It's meaningful. And you know what? As a fucking doctor of psychology, maybe he should realize that, but he's an anomaly. It's just an example that came to mind to reinforce how important that is. Like you're saying, to be in a crowd of people that you're connecting with, not to... I mean, hell, look at all the ignorance is bliss on display at people at a fucking Trump rally. It's like, those people are having a good ass time.
People are too stupid to realize how unhappy they should be.
You know what? You know what? But
that was BoJack.
You know what?
That's why we're all maybe we're being even more susceptible to falling into cults now. Like why there's these
because we're desperate
demagogues roaming the earth like dinosaurs, but like Trump and Elon Musk and all the way that politics has been this I don't want to say the tired punditry garbage of tribalism in politics. It's like, no, it's more than that. It's like this move towards real cult-like behavior, because you know what? That's how people are forming connections. That's where politics is leading them to form connections instead of actually just like interacting with the people around them, having empathy and sharing feelings with fucking human beings instead of using ideology to do it.
What's really gonna not help all of this is, I wrote this down too, was arts being taken away from the schools, like cutting art funding in schools, which is how people express themselves, which is how people connect, because art transcends like any sort of spoken or written language. Sometimes, you have like sculptures and paintings and music and stuff that can speak and resonate with people across all kinds of different cultures and languages and like biases and stuff. It is incredibly important for people to be able to think outside the box. That's what art is. And it's like,
you know what?
I think that's really annoying. I'm going to use that. You're the best.
but that now that's really getting to me. And it's like that's a problem with this movement to really concentrate on. What we should be teaching is STEM. STEM's important. That's how and it's about science and technology, engineering, and mathematics. And I'm not gonna deny that that's important, but this focus on that, like to the detriment of humanities and the arts, leads to this. It's like, imagine if we raised our entire next generation on just STEM and shit. Like, how much worse this would be right now. Like, you're talking about loneliness right now and not making connections with people. Like, it'd be that much worse. And you know why we all want to focus on STEM and stuff? It's not for the betterment and enrichment of the lives of people going through school. It's to make them more competitive in the global economy. It's like, what the fuck? Yeah. Why is that where our priorities are?
Yeah, exactly. It's like, why are we not like philosophy and all these things that actually help people think and express themselves? Like, why is there not more of an emphasis on that?
This is politics.
And the answer is, I just need to see a dick.
I need to see a dick. What the fuck? This is politics.
I don't think it's like, I'm not conspiratorial, because it's just like ignorance begets ignorance begets ignorance. Like, it's just people perpetuating this cycle of ignorance and not doing it on purpose because they're like, oh, art creates free thinkers and blah, blah, blah. It's just like, because the economy. Like, that's what people are thinking. They're not like malicious. They're just ignorant, like, of the actual consequences of having a society founded on the stock market.
Yeah. And then we just wonder why
people have to flush their toilet 15 times.
It's because of the lack of STEM majors.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
I like that for whatever reason. I think it's more just to be a catch-all. But in Sophia's elementary school curriculum, on Thursdays they have STEAM, not STEM. And because the A is in there for art.
Because they do steam engines?
Yeah, because they build steam engines for 13 cents an hour. Oh, did I mention she's in prison?
No. Yeah.
Legalized slavery.
Yeah.
That's the
We've got to legalize it.
Yeah. She walks into school and they're like,
Sit down!
and Sophia just says,
No. No.
and then she gets suspended. She tells the principal,
"Suck my dick, idiot."
No.
Oh, that's a good one.
So
that's rich. That is rich.
Yeah, that's a good way to bring it back around. So I was thinking, okay, we're at like the 50-minute mark. If we want to like crank out 2 episodes because we've missed so much time, and we can just hang out and talk. I did write, speaking of Sophia being in school, leftist parents need to push back on these school board meeting wackos. This one thing that I wrote.
That's you.
Yeah, I know. I need to go to a school board meeting. Yeah, I'm one of the wackos. Yeah, I'm screaming about
take
them.
Take the towers down.
Yeah, like the masks are because everyone's a pedophile and they're trying to teach my kid. Sure. They're grooming my children with leftist ideology and
leftist ideology, like the
shows.
Things like that. The Holocaust was bad. That's the leftist ideology. That's what we just give them information and they make their own judgments about it. It's like, no, kids don't know fucking anything.
Why do you think
and
they're
learn
in
right from
school
wrong
for 12 years?
Like, do you understand what moral relativism is, or like ethics, or anything about that? It's not like some naturally occurring thing. It's like a culture, and like we made what those mean. That's what we're teaching children. The Holocaust was bad. That's not a hard thing to say. Like this, that was one. I think that might have been on R.M. Brown or whatever, where they're talking about that. About in schools, it's like it's not our job to like indoctrinate children.
Yeah.
But it's like, well, that's actually what learning is, because they don't know anything. You're born not knowing
them
anything.
with knowledge, and you also teach them how to learn, but you have to indoctrinate them with knowledge. Knowledge still has to be in there somewhere.
The reality in which they live, and they can understand this thing happened and it's seen as a bad thing because of all these reasons. It's just like, it's so strange how they're trying to simp for like the Holocaust. It's like, if you're ever...
And after all of that, they just come out of school and all they've learned is...
Socialism is when no car.
So...
If at any point you're ever saying something along the lines of, well, the Holocaust was bad, and there's any sort of like...
but
people need to make their own decisions about it. It's like, why?
Why are you saying this right now?
Like, why would you say anything even remotely close to that? What kind of, like, legitimately, that's like some sort of thought experiment, like white guy bullshit reasoning where you're sitting alone in a room just having thought experiments about what can be or is or ethics and morals.
This isn't
and like
some
very
weird
abstract.
Existential argument. We're talking about like, empirical stuff. So
there's pictures.
There's video. But it's like to the much lesser extent. That's like I was in a Twitter argument every day. No, I was in a Twitter argument the other day under a Matt Walsh bullshit, and someone calls out his his teen brides and teen pregnancy things, and someone else like immediately goes on the defensive, and instead of like debunking or arguing against it, I was just like just hold up, stop, take a step back, and ask yourself why you feel the need to defend Matt Walsh on this issue. Why?
Yeah.
Why is this important to you? Really think about it.
About a
exactly.
pedophile.
I mean, whether he meant it or not, whether you feel like he can debunk it, why do you need to come in and defend him on this issue? Why? It's just like you don't need to make some sort of weird thought experiment about any of it. Yeah, exactly. Oh my god. Yeah, whether he was right or not, that doesn't matter. Why did you need to come in and defend him? Do you know him?
Like him?
Do you agree with him? Yeah, what is it?
Yeah.
because I think some self-reflection on that is really important. It just happened to me in a Twitter argument. No, not even hardly an argument, but about Chapo Trap House, and people having some very unkind words about how, people feel like they've poisoned a lot of the leftist political discourse and this and that. But it ended up being, because I did that, because I'm so fucking smart and good. No. But
I'm such a good leftist.
Yeah, because
everyone is stupid except me.
But no, I actually just took that step back and had to tell myself, wait a minute. I don't know, like, why am I immediately defensive? I don't know the people in Chapo Trap House. What is this person actually saying? And it was productive. I was like, oh, no, that makes sense. And I argued back. I was like, well, I feel like that's not a good way to put it because this. And they said, oh, yeah, that you're right. But I feel this way. And it ended up, it was funny. It was a Twitter thread where I got kind of scared because it was someone with like a huge following that I followed for a long time, and when she responded to me, and I was like, oh god, is she gonna hate me? Is she gonna I'm just defending Chapo for no reason? And it made me step back and look, and I was like, okay, what are we talking about here? Actually just framing conversations like this with some sort of self-reflection is it's very overlooked, and it's very much part of our team sport mentality, our tribalism, our cult indoctrination in the political sphere that we keep doing, where you just have to defend someone. You know what I mean?
People have to be able to.
I don't even know where I'm going with this.
Though,
yeah,
also,
but that's what I'm saying. Self-reflect on why. Not only what do you think, why do you think that way? Why
that's
is
what
this
I mean.
your
It's
first
like we're saying, like, taking the time to self-reflect. A lot of people don't have even really good tools
to
do that with, or the time to do it, because people work a lot,
or they've never been given the tools to figure out how to critically think.
Oh my gosh, yeah, like, it's a lot of work to try to see outside as much as you can your own perspective and biases and stuff. You have to be exposed to a lot of other perspectives and been taught how to look at them as unbiased as possible. Like, that's not, nobody's perfect, but like really being open to new information and weighing it against your pre-existing notions about this, and like really, comparing and contrasting and doing the work. And it's like, that's why people go in college and you're writing papers on stuff. Yeah. It's a great way to stay in mental shape. I like to break a mental shape.
You caught me.
Are you reading the dictionary?
That's something to go off onto another track.
Oh God.
No, but no. What was I just thinking? Okay, so to try to look objectively, at what you're thinking, and so often it's like we're all so confused about what objectivity is, like where people seem to think, because of how everything's been boiled down into these tribalist cults of ideology that we find ourselves in. But being objective isn't about just being in between the two sides. That's not what being objective is.
Because there aren't two sides either.
Well,
there's like a
no, I'm
infinite.
just saying, even when there are two sides and you're looking at one issue, being objective isn't splitting the difference. Being objective is trying as much as you can, like you said, to see through your own bias. Like, is recognizing inherent biases in whichever side, in whatever rhetoric is being presented, right? At least that's what I think. I don't know if I'm right, because I'm just making shit up, but being objective is recognizing and trying to see through biases. It's not about evenly weighing sides. That has nothing to do with it.
It's about seeing...
seeing an object,
fact from opinion and stuff, like where that one tweet, it's like, as journalists, it's not our job to cover each side of the story when someone says it's raining or it's not. It's our job to put our head out the window and check the fucking weather ourselves.
Yeah.
Like, being able to... Yeah, because there are things that it's like, these are not evenly weighed, because some things have, decades or centuries of research for a foundation for this belief system, and these other ones are just reactive, racist, fearful approaches to things, and there is a difference.
The other ones are, like, real American shit. So
yeah, other things, that's like Scandinavia, first option.
You look at America and they're like,
These people are sick.
The N-word.
The Constitution can suck me from the back. Suck me from the back.
Suck a dick, dumb shit.
Thanks a lot, Puritans.
Anyway.
Thanks a lot, Puritans. That's America right there.
Of course.
Puritans created incels.
America! No.
Da, 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 da.
Come on.
Yeah, America, where after you hear all those gunshots into a crowd, you just say, awesome. So we hit an hour here. I want to kind of cut it off, and I want to, because I have some back end stuff that I need to look at, which means I'm going to put my finger up my bum hole. No.
Back end stuff.
No, I keep hearing some terrible noises on the line here, and I don't know if it's me or you.
I'm wondering. So, I think something's happening. So...
Yeah, and we can start anew with another episode. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
And scene.
And where did I put this stupid thing that I did?
Oh, the scene.
Thank you for listening to Inane Blather.
As the devil said that on Halloween yesterday, so.
LMFAO.
And everyone remember...
Socialism is when no car.
Okay. Okay, I love you. I'll talk to you again in 30
too.
seconds.